Now, one more story, because for the first time, families of Indian soldiers from undivided Punjab who served in the First World War will have access to the service registers of their ancestors, all thanks to a new website set up by UK-based historians. The records, which have been lying in a museum in Pakistan for almost a century, have now been made available online for free. Our South Asian Diaspora reporter Gaggan Sabherwal has more.
So this is the village name, Mangawal, and that is my great-great-grandfather, Kirpa Singh, son of Fuman Singh.
22-year-old Jasmine Atwal was volunteering with a local charity when she accidentally discovered records showing that her great-great-grandfather and his brother had fought in World War I. Jasmine made this fascinating discovery on the UK Punjab Heritage Association's website that contained thousands of records of soldiers from undivided Punjab who fought in the First World War.
I couldn't believe it that I'd actually got hold of this. But then I did feel a bit teary-eyed that this is a direct connection with World War I, which I'd been learning about since primary school. My great-great-grandfather, we figured, was part of a mountain battery. So he was an artilleryman dealing with the guns, so moving them, transporting them, using them, based in Mesopotamia. And his brother, his regiment was one of the only Indian regiments in China against the German naval force.
Around 6% of the British forces who fought in the First World War were from Punjab, and for over a century, the records of 320,000 of these soldiers have been lying in the museum in Pakistan.
During World War I, these registers were written by hand and maintained. These records contain information such as the name of the soldier, his rank, his address, and whether he was injured or was he martyred in the war, and if he completed his service or had retired.
And after years of correspondence and relationship building with the Lahore Museum, Amandeep from the Punjab Heritage Association finally managed to gain access to these rare records.
It's been a very long process working with the Lahore Museum to get these records digitised. It's just because they are vast. They run to some 26,000 pages. So it took about 4 years working with them to get everything cleanly digitised and then brought over to the UK. And then we've spent about a year transcribing them into a database.
The families of British and Irish soldiers can easily search public databases of service records to find out more about the role their ancestors played in World War I. But as I've been finding out, there isn't any such facility available for the relatives of colonial soldiers.
I think in both India and in Pakistan, there has been a tendency to overlook how significant the South Asian role was in the British war effort. In the UK, we have misunderstood or misremembered the war as being something which was basically European, about France and Belgium and mud and trenches. And we have, for too long, forgotten the role that not just South Asians, but Commonwealth and colonial soldiers played across the conflict. The records obviously help families and individuals to connect with their own family histories, but the registers also offer us new insights into Punjab's contribution to the First World War.
So far, 44,000 service records have been uploaded, with plans underway to add the remaining data over the coming months. Gaggan Sabherwal, BBC News.
Fascinating story. Now I'm back with more on all of our main stories here in just a moment or two. Don't go away.